Alright folks, as you can see, they're fixing to get this dude unloaded, and it is just rolling smoke. I mean, it's awful. Goodness, I mean, look at it. I mean, that's as bad as I've ever seen one, y'all. All right. Get this thing shut down before it chokes me to death. All right, so that's how that's gonna start. All right, folks. Michael, Vintage Diesel Equipment Service. Before we get into what's behind me back there, I can't help but to bring it up. 98% of y'all folks, well, y'all ain't even subscribed. That's all right. I appreciate you watching. But if you don't mind reaching down there and giving it a little clickety-click, won't cost you a penny. It'll sure help this channel big time, though. All right. On with it. Behind me, well, it's a telehandler. It's a Ingersol Rand VR 642. Some of y'all might have already watched the Cummins 4-cylinder diagnosis video. Well, that's what this is all about. So, essentially, behind this here fancy door sits us a Cummins. Well, right now, it can't tell if it's a Cummins or a Goins. It's smoking so darn much. So, just got this dude unloaded. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and kind of reposition it here a little bit. I kind of want it turned just a touch. And then we're gonna get after this dude. I don't know. It's a lot of handler, but I can handle it. All right. Now that I'm done making silly puns for fun, I'm gonna go ahead and maybe we'll throw you on the hood here. Let me see what I see. All right. I'm gonna crank this dude up, and there's gonna be just, I mean, a cloud like you ain't never did seen. And I'm gonna move it. And then we'll get after it. let's get us a look behind the power barn. Go to the other side. Oh, well, I don't have to go to the other side. Let's just go back to this side. That cylinder's leaking. That was dry. Just the things you notice, you know. Oh, good deal. Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we'll be getting set up to get after it then. The first thing I'm probably gonna do is I'll probably drain the coolant. That's where I'll start. And then maybe we'll do the get up there and we'll get after our fuel lines and, you know, stuff like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. Without saying. You know what I'm saying? Huh. What's that say? China. Alright then. I didn't know China and Cummins were a thing, but maybe so. Alright, well, we're gonna get set up, get after it, see what we can do. So, this unit, really clean, by the way. It has just a touch over 5,000 hours. Not very much. What is that? Get the cameras still. I don't know if y'all can really see it or not, but anyway, 5,031 hours is what this thing showed. Whenever you crank and run it, I mean, there's next to no oil pressure at all. Okay, at least not showing up on the gauge, which, putting that with the absolute smoke show, I think this thing might have popped a piston skirt or something. I don't know. Broke a ring land, something. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna crank this dude up, okay? And we're now on the passenger side, if there is one, on the telehandler, okay? And we're looking just below. And if you're curious what this is going to be an industrial Cummins B3.9-C is the actual model number, okay? It's going to be, for those of you that have been subscribers for a long time, thank you, by the way. You'll remember this engine, although I think in a slightly larger capacity, on Motor Kitten. Yeah. So these little motors are problematic. They really are, from best I can see. But what we're going to do, looking over on this side, here's your injection pump, okay? Here's your fuel filter. Right there, see that black tube right there? That really thicker one goes all the way down behind your starter and out the bottom. I suspect that I'm gonna see smoke pour out of that tube, and if so, then what we've got is positive crankcase pressure, and that's blow by, a mountain of it. So we're gonna check that. Here, let's go ahead and throw you here, and I'm gonna go ahead and check the dipstick again. I remember checking it there, but it ain't smelling all that great, I can tell you that. But let's just go ahead and give it the old wipey wipe. Now, give it another looky look. There isn't any on that dipstick, folks. There is 0 oil inside that crankcase. There's nothing in there. Well, that ain't good, right? Alright, we're just gonna go ahead and bump this thing over briefly because we need to see if that's positive crankcase pressure coming out of the blow-by tube, okay? So, real quickly, we're gonna go for it. This motor's hurt. Oh yeah, it's hurt. Yeah, this motor's hurt. Huh. I'm telling you, I hear a bunch of baby birds in there. There ain't nothing I can do about that. All right. So, knowing that, essentially, here's the breakdown. I'm gonna drain the coolant, okay? I don't suspect there is much. Unhook this line and the top water line, okay? We're gonna unhook the injectors from the other side, right over there, okay? We'll disconnect our drain return lines from them. Disconnect our injector lines all the way back to the pump, get them up and out of the way. We'll undo our cold side, okay, back to the turbo, and we'll disconnect our I believe that's going to be going to the pop-off valve. Could be wrong though, but I believe it is. I believe it goes to pop-off valve and it goes back over here, and they're basically just metering manifold pressure. So once we get that done, then we can we can get our alternator off of it and everything, because it's all bolted to the head from the other side. Here, we'll just go have a look, okay? Yep, still motor's hurt. Okay, so we'll unhook our cold side from the turbo, okay? Up and out of the way. We'll have to unbolt our exhaust manifold log. It'll slide back enough. Then we'll undo each one of our injectors, okay? And the return line from each injector. Being real careful. You always want to be careful. Never try to bend these, okay? Because the way they're designed, they're gonna mess up on you, and you're not gonna have a good day. So, alright, we'll have to disconnect our alternator wiring here, it looks like. Let's see, I don't know where that, oh, okay, it just plugs in down here. So, that'll be simple. Did I say that? Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, I don't think it'll be bad. Looks like it's just a simple clip. Alright, unhook our radiator hose, get our alternator out of the way, get our belt off first, of course. And then we can start taking our lids off and slowly unbolt our head and get it up and out of here and see what it looks like. But I suspect, after seeing that this thing has 0 oil, that we got a problem. That we got a pretty good problem going on, and this is probably going to be one of those in-frame rebuild situations. But hopefully we can work this out pretty simple. Anyway, let me get set up and we'll get this going. everybody, it's pretty late in the day, but maybe there's enough light to get this shot. As you can see, heads off. That cylinder. This one here, well, as you can see, it's got an oil bath and it's nasty. This just got some oil on it because it was sitting down here, okay? But that, and you'll see when we go over and look in the motor. Something's not right here. Huh. Never seen a water jacket that big, but let's go look over here. Let's see if I can get my ladder. Just in case, you know. And you can see signs already of blown head gasket. So, with that being said, I'm starting to see signs of a lot of rust and whatnot in the coolant passages. Let's get it off here gently. Oh yeah, look here. See? Right there, our gasket's blown completely away right there, and that was the cylinder in question. So there's our compression. That's a good sign, right? So, alright. And as I was telling you a while ago, if you look at the pistons, gonna be number one here at the front. Number two. And then you get to number three, and it's like, oh, this ain't the same as the others, right? Number four, back to where it was. So this cylinder here was definitely, it was definitely having some issues, but I got a lot of questions. And look here, that's part of that metal O-ring right there that goes in that gasket. See it right there? It's probably that piece right there. Okay. I mean, we've got a lot of, see, sure is an awful lot of material there. So tomorrow in the daylight, we're gonna get all this cleaned up, see what's what, and see what we need to do. Okay, so just like magic, it'll be tomorrow. Alright everybody, so a really quick update on the Cummins 4BT. Took me a rag and cleaned out our wet cylinder, and had a look at the piston here in the daylight, and I don't see any signs that this thing barked through the turbo and cracked the piston. The clearance on the ring looks a little big compared to the others. So, if you remember the head gasket the way I found it. So, what I'm going to do is roll the engine over and get that cylinder to come on up and have me a little look and see what I find there. If that cylinder looks clean and everything, I'll contact the customer and see what he's got in mind, but he's probably going to get a head gasket and keep rolling. Alright everybody, so here's kind of where we're going to be at today. I'm going to go ahead and take my fan shroud off. I've already got
the two on this side and the one up there. Sorry about the road noise. I got one more to get off over there, and then I can get my fan shroud out of the way, and then I should be able to turn my motor over at the crank. And then we're essentially going to go through, I'm mostly concerned with cylinder 3. We're going to go through and check the walls of that cylinder as that piston travels down, and also back up. We're going to kind of make sure we don't see any kind of scarring that's the result of a broken ring or anything like that. Make sure we don't have any debris. And then we're just going to clean the top of that piston up and make sure everything looks good. Get it ready. And then we'll be able to send our head off to the machine shop. I always go through all of that first. So as you can see, I've got my head off. I've already pulled out everything, all my injectors, anything extra. You should always do that before you go to a machine shop. And sorry about the noise, but anyway, that's going to save you a lot of hassle. But you're always going to want to get that checked. All right, I'm going to try and do a really quick short on this. It's a lot to go through, but heads off, as you can clearly see. Well, you'd have known that from the last video, but anyway, get everything off of it, okay? That way it's ready to go to the machine shop. So it'll save you a lot of time and hassle. And you always want to get it checked. Sorry about the road noise. Next, I've already taken 3 bolts of my shroud out. There's one more stubborn one over in the bottom there. I got to get out, and then I should be able to get in here and use a bar and turn my motor over. And I'm going to check number 3 all the way through this travel, make sure the cylinder looks good and clean on the walls. And whenever it comes up, I don't see anything after I clean the top of the piston off that I should be concerned about there. So with that said, there we go. All right, I'll load it up, but just a quick little look. Look at the bottom of our head on the surface. Well, we kind of see a familiar pattern. Number 3's valves are pretty nasty. So anyway, it's off to the machine shop. See what's going on with it. Get it worked out and ready to go. So let's go to the machine shop. We're about to get underneath here and unbolt this oil pan, because I'd like to have it off. I want to get this oil pan off, and then we're going to go ahead and just very liberally give it a good spraying of brake clean and get all the stuff that's going to fall in my face out of the way. Yep, I think that's what we're going to do. And we might, I think we will go ahead, pretty much have to in fact, unbolt this here dry shaft at both ends and get it out of the way. If you're hearing me struggle, it's because I got a mosquito that just pestering me to death. You know what? We can turn this motor over right there at that inspection plate, and we won't even have to bother with the crank bolt, given it's going to take a long time to turn it and turn it and turn it. But it means that the only thing we got to do up front is change our water pump. Yep, bolt the rest of it back up, put the belt back on it. So, alright, I'm going to get set up and get this pan off. We'll go from there. Alright, here we go. There we go. You good? And I don't expect no whole lot. Ooh.
Oh, it is doing a bit.
Ooh, there is a lot on the bottom. A lot of metal.
I can tell you when it's done draining.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Is it leaking?
I guess I let it spill over the edge there. Oh, hold on. Yeah, no. That would be a good reason. Folks, don't do the dumb stuff I just did. Take your drain plug out first. Yeah, that was dumb. That was dumb. I guess it just is what it is, right?
What does that thing do?
That's an air vent, you know, because that's got to go into that, and it's easier to get it in there if you can get air, you know, to go through.
Yeah.
Well, at least we got shop floor sweep that we can bring out here and throw on our work surface. It ain't that big a deal. Alright. If y'all see all that, that's metal. That's bearing material. See all of it standing up there on that magnet? That's bearing material. So, and I mean, look at that.
Oh.
Look, it's just a ton of it. Okay, I mean that's all bearing material right there, y'all. So, yep, that's why we're rebuilding that, dude. I mean, it's, if you'll notice, it's not that that's old. Okay, that's all brass and aluminum off those bearings. Every bit of that is. So, yep, that's why we're rebuilding it. Alright, we got our Cummins oil pan off. If you remember all the stuff we found on the drain plug, I see some chunks, and I'm just gonna see if it's material. Huh. Sure is a lot of paste. Oh yeah. Yep. Yep, that's all bearing material. I can assure you it is. Oh yeah, it's paste. Yeah. Alright, so after getting the oil pan off, and the drive shaft out of the way, as you can see, I went ahead and sprayed this dude off with brake cleaner, and it's still in the process of drip drying. But that's just going to simplify life, something that you might think of if you're doing an end frame, so it ain't all dripping on you. Just spray it off and then give it a while, let it drip dry, and then come back with some blue shop towels and just kind of wipe everything up out of your way. It just alleviate that stuff falling in your face is all I'm trying to say. So, alright. Next step will be wiping all that off, and then we'll start driving the old pistons out. So, ready for that. Alright folks, so it is the next day. We've let this thing drip dry pretty well. It's pretty clean. It's still a little to wipe away so it don't drip, but it's not bad. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to have to unbolt our rod caps, okay? And of course there's 4 of them because there's 4 cylinders. Alright, so So we're gonna unbolt our rod caps and we're gonna pull the cap off. And then we're gonna turn our crank off of our flywheel here, which someone is, as you can see, has already removed the inspection plate and they didn't put it back. But we're gonna rotate the engine over until it goes all the way to the top. All right, and then we'll be mindful as we're turning it past the top that the rod lets loose, and we'll get the crank out of the way enough that we can take the wooden part of a rubber mallet. We're gonna just stick it up there against that rod, okay? And then we're gonna hit it with a 3-pound hammer and tap that dude right on out. And we're gonna do that times 4. So let me get my tools and we're gonna drive some pistons out. There we go.